It's me again. Today's date is Calvin Coolidge's birthday. It's July 4th, 2023. It's a Tuesday. And this is like take 5 of this video by this point. I keep ranting on about stuff, and friends called me up last night and asked me questions, and and we're like, oh, let's talk about it. We talked about events that have happened since 2015 that have led to younger people behaving in a certain way, a series of events, things in technology, things that happen socially in the world, and how that molded people and why young people act a specific way today from those events. It's rather interesting. I sort of ranted about it for way longer than I should have. So this is take 5 of this video. But indeed, as Allie from Trading Secrets pointed out, on June 30th, there was an AK filed on NextBridge stating that Joseph DeWoody has resigned. Clifton DeBose is now the Presidente and the CEO of NextBridge. Of course, then the bears come out and they're saying negative things as if it might affect the price of NextBridge. They're trying to sway you emotionally about this. But it makes me think, on this 8K, DeWoody resigned on the ground of he couldn't do both his job and the job at NextBridge. There's too much work between his job and NextBridge. What work at NextBridge was he doing? What work is there? I'd like to know this. Many people, I'm sure, would like to know this. What are they doing that they're not telling us about? That's how I look at it. What are you doing? What do you do? What work? What work is this? Elaborate on this work. We know that NextBridge completed the 2022 drilling clause. Great. We completed that and they announced it in March. We completed it. Great. Well, it's been some months since then. What else have you done? What's going on now? Is this related to the oil and gas? Is this related to MMTLP? Yes to both. What is it? What's going on here that would cause Joseph DeWoody to step down on the grounds of it's too much work? I'd like to know. Many people, I'm sure, would like to know. We'd like some sort of update with that. Many people would also like an update on the oil and gas, what new discoveries there were. So far, there hasn't been any official in-depth reports that have come out. The only reports that we've seen are some minor filings that say, yeah, we found some extra oil and gas. Well, tell us about it. We'd like to know. And it led to a lot of people going, well, what are they doing over there at NextBridge? But here you have a guy resigning on the grounds of it's too much work. I'd like to hear about that work. What's going on? Are we to hear more things from NextBridge coming up shortly because of all the work going on behind the scenes? These are questions that I have. Speaking of work, FINRA has put in a lot of work and money about NextBridge and MMTLP. They've hired lawyers. They've had lawyers respond to things. They made an FAQ. They, spoke with that James guy from Georgetown. How much money is FINRA putting into all this? So I'm going to be filing some FOIA requests this coming week, and I'm going to be making videos about how I file the requests, how I word it, how I reference things, how I'm being specific. I like to file requests as specific as possible, and each topic is its own request. I believe if you're too broad in your request, it gives them grounds to deny it. Because if they can deny one part of your request, they can deny everything on the grounds of that one part they couldn't do. So if you're pretty specific and you just have many requests, I think you're more likely to get a response of some type that's favorable to you. Not everything might not get response to properly. You might get denied a lot of stuff, but I think you have a better chance of separating things as much as possible and doing separate requests. So that will be my video. Remember, SEC FOIA office is closed for this week because of 4th of July. And if you're traveling today, be careful because it is 4th of July. And the roads can be dangerous on holiday. Lots of people go full throttle on the holiday. Then that puts the burden on us to be a bit more defensive. So be careful on the roads. I hope you have a safe 4th of July. Don't go to the emergency room. If you live where it's been hot and dry, let's think for a second, about the fireworks. Where I live, it's been hot and dry. We had a little bit of rain earlier, but it's not enough to warrant the 3 weeks that we had where it was over 100 degrees. And so things are still pretty brown and flammable at this point. Okay, guys, short video for today because it's 4th of July. It's one of my favorite holidays because I love all the parades and I like the fireworks. And the alcohol is kind of fun too. But my favorite holiday, of course, is Black Friday, although Black Friday has been pretty abysmal since 2020. The best Black Friday, in my opinion, was Black Friday 2009. I would say 2009 is probably one of the best Black Fridays. 2008, 2009. Those were some nice Black Fridays. At least in the old day of Black Friday. Because I do a recon mission to the stores. The store openings were staggered. It'd start like at 10 o'clock or midnight. Usually Toys R Us was the opener for the Black Friday lineup. And then Kohl's started competing and they're like, we're going to be the opener for the Black Friday lineup. But if you lived in an area, which I did at the time where there were many stores, and they're all in close vicinity, you could time it if you did it just right, where you could hit like 4 or 5 stores. And that's what my goal was. So I do reconnaissance missions to these stores. I'm like, okay, this store opens up at this time. If we hit the stores up in this pattern, that's the fastest. And then the reconnaissance in the store would be how to get out of the store the quickest, how to grab your stuff and get out the quickest. Being one of the first people in line was great, but it wasn't my goal. If I was one of the first 100 people or 200 people in the store, that was fine. My goal was to be one of the first 50 people out of the store. So I'd be quick on it. And the recon would help me map out. This is before the age of, smartphones really, and apps and things like that. So I had to draw maps of the store and I plotted it. And then, the items that I want are here, here, here. We have to go around the store like this. If there's crowds and we detour this way, get our stuff, check out, head to the next store. Get in line, get the stuff, do the same thing. And it was awesome. It was I was like George Peppard with a cigar in my mouth saying, I love it when a plan comes together. And it was very intense. It was an adrenaline thrill ride. I'll say that. It was an adrenaline thrill ride. Gone are those days of adrenaline thrill rides. Black Friday doesn't come back. I don't know what. Plan this holiday out, you got the reward. You plan a holiday out and you get rewarded with discount savings on last year's products is what you got rewarded with. Discount savings on the previous year's products. It wasn't new products that were discounted. It was last year's products that were discounted. That's the key. Okay, guys, that's it for today. Have a happy holiday. I will see you soon. Goodbye.